Have you ever seen your school try to end someone's life? I got put on lunch duty, and every single day I watched this tiny kid with thick glasses walk up to the lunch line and ask, "Does this have gluten? Is this dairy-free?" and 100 other questions. Every day the lunch ladies would get annoyed saying, "You'll be fine, kid, just eat it." He'd keep pushing though. But I need to know, I could get hurt, and they'd shove a tray at him and move on to the next student. I felt horrible for him, so I started standing closer to make sure they didn't give him something that could kill him. Then as he walked into the gym the next day, I overheard the lunch ladies say, "Oh look, here comes allergy boy again." Another one laughed. "Maybe we should just give him dairy today and see what happens." I froze. I wanted to believe I'd misheard them, but then he walked up to the line, and I heard one of them whisper, "Watch this." I watched as they handed him a plate of pasta with red sauce, telling him it was completely dairy-free. He smiled at them, genuinely grateful, and took his tray to a table. I stood there frozen, hoping I was wrong about what I'd just witnessed. Then he took his first bite, and not even 20 seconds later, he dropped his fork and started running out of the cafeteria with his hands on his stomach. Everyone watched him and laughed, especially the lunch ladies. Oops, guess it had dairy after all. Did you see his face? One of them was literally wiping tears from her eyes. Did you see him choking though? This was pure evil. I immediately walked to the principal's office to tell him to fire those lunch ladies, but as soon as I finished telling him what I saw, he goes, "That's a serious accusation. Do you have any proof?" Before I could even respond, he picked up his phone and called the lunch ladies to his office. They walked in a few minutes later with the most innocent smiles I'd ever seen. Completely different people from the ones I'd watched laugh at a choking child. One of them put her hand on her chest and said, "What? We try so hard with little Jack. He just asks so many questions and sometimes we can't keep track of every little ingredient. It was an honest mistake." The principal turned to me. "See, it's just a misunderstanding. These ladies have been here for 15 years without a single complaint. Perhaps you should focus on your own classroom since you're clearly out of line." I left that office furious, but I made a promise to myself. This wasn't happening again. The next day, I positioned myself right next to the lunch line when he walked in. The lunch ladies saw me watching, and suddenly they were all smiles and warmth. "Hey there, we're so sorry about yesterday, so we made you something completely safe today. We promise." They were performing for the whole cafeteria, voices loud enough for everyone to hear how caring they were. "We made Thai noodles with our special peanut sauce, totally safe for you." He thanked them and took his tray, and that's when I realized I didn't even know what he was actually allergic to. Was this even safe? I knew I had to see, so I quickly walked to the nurse's office to find his folder, and when I looked at it, I felt terrible. He was allergic to almost 25 things, but at the bottom it said, "Fatal, peanuts." Wait a second, they said Thai sauce. That definitely had peanuts in it. Then it hit me, they were trying to kill him. I instantly grabbed the EpiPen from the wall and ran to the cafeteria. When I burst through the cafeteria doors, I saw a crowd of kids standing in a circle around one of the tables. Someone was screaming, "He can't breathe! Somebody help! Where's the EpiPen?" A teacher was kneeling next to him, completely panicked. "Where's his EpiPen? There isn't one in here!" I dropped to my knees beside him and uncapped the pen. His throat had completely closed. I didn't know how long he'd gone without air. I jammed the EpiPen into his thigh and held it there, counting the seconds. Nothing happened. He was dying. A girl was yelling, "Please save his life!" Then finally we heard the smallest gasp for air, as he could slightly breathe air through his throat. He barely got enough oxygen to survive the ambulance. And as for those lunch ladies, well, they now stand in line for their prison lunch.